We now cross live to our reporter who is in Mamelodi, that's Calden Ongmu. Calden, very good morning to you. Reports of normalcy creeping in some parts of Tshwane. What is the situation on the ground on your end?
Yes, Audrey, I am in Mamelodi. I visited East Mamelodi where more than 23 buses were burned on Monday night, and I'm now in West Mamelodi. As far as the transport is concerned, it's business as usual. People have been going to their offices as usual. Students have been going to schools. But what is most disappointing, which started from last night, I'm told, here in East as well as West Mamelodi, the looting of the shops. I've been told by residents that more than 20 foreign-owned shops have been looted, and it's very unfortunate. We have spoken earlier, we spoke to one of the Somalian shop owner in East Mamelodi who said that nothing is left of his shop. Everything is gone, and he says he estimates a loss about more than 100,000 rand. We spoke to the shop owner who belongs to this place. He says he couldn't take nothing out of the shop. He says he closed his shop at around 7 p.m. He had no idea that they are going to be the vulnerable targets at the end of the day of this political turmoil. He says they were the last person, and he says around 8, his shop was ransacked, his shop was looted, and he couldn't take anything out. But we have been speaking to some of the residents here. I have with me one of them who says he is with the foreigners, and hopefully he thinks that this has come to an end now. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Kamakelo. Can you tell, what can you make out of this? Do you think the whole situation is going to come to an end now?
You can never be too sure about that, because the previous day there were no police. These people had no protection from the police, and I also believe it's an act of crime on the people who were looting the shops, because they're using people to do their own crimes. So I think it should stop. I really think, I urge the people that they should stop with these attacks.
Okay, thank you so much, Kamahelo. And Audrey, we have another resident as well who thinks that this is definitely, just like Kamahelo, a criminal attack. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Godfrey. Can you tell me, how do you feel when, foreigners become the most vulnerable target during these times?
The unfortunate part about this thing is that our grandmothers and grandfathers, they do take credit to those people whenever we don't have money. If these things continue happening, it's going to be a huge problem for us, because these guys, they are our friends. We do communicate with them each and every day, and we take them as our guidance somewhere in there, you see. And if this thing continues, there's no way we will survive, because people that are helping this our community. And if this thing of the protest doesn't end, it's going to be much more difficult for our residents.
All right. Thank you so much, Godfrey. Audrey, you hear that these are the residents speaking. They say they are fully in support of the foreigners here. And they say they are confused as they do not know. The community members stand united with the foreigners, because obviously some of the food that they buy from the foreign shops are much cheaper than they get from other shopping centers. So they say they do stand. So they really don't know who are these people coming and looting. And they say it's clearly a criminal act, and it's nothing to do with any political unrest. Audrey?
So can you confirm, Calden, that it's specifically foreign-owned shops that have been targeted, and shops that are owned by South Africans have not been targeted in this act of criminality?
Audrey, I can tell you myself, I've visited at least 3 to 4 shops, and going by what the residents say in Mamelodi, it's only foreign-owned shops. Of course, I haven't been to all 20, but at least we are on a street where there are 3 to 4 shops, and those shops, and as well as this one that we are speaking about, is owned by Somalians. So they are the ones who were targeted, and it's very unfortunate what started as a political unrest had to obviously end in this, and foreigners obviously become become the vulnerable targets at the end of the day. And also you must keep this point where these residents spoke about. Since last night, they say the visibility of police is very low in this area. I was here yesterday morning. Morning, the police, there was a large contingent of police. Even afternoon, the police were taking rounds in all the streets of Mamelodi. But from night, they say the visibility of police literally, decreased. And even now, I do not see any police roaming around the streets of Mamelodi.